All right. So, good
All
afternoon.
right. I okay. All right. Okay, it's good to hear the whisper from my co-host. So that means he's fully ready for tonight's delivery. All right. Seeing blackface. Where have you been this man? You need some flogging on your bum, but anyway. All right, my people, my highly esteemed diplomats, ladies and gentlemen, this is all important meeting. You know, when you have your pastor that you listen to every Sunday and you don't listen to him for a long time, when it comes, you are expecting fresh revelations. And I believe everything that we're going to share tonight is going to be for the profiting of everyone. And at this time, we really missed his contribution to our ecosystem, of course, and now we're back to business as we journey into 2023. Ladies and gentlemen, without further much ado, join me in welcoming to the court tonight, the one and only Medayese Felix Jimoh, the one we call the Oracle of cryptocurrency. You're welcome to the court tonight, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much. It's a privilege and honor to be with us this wonderful evening. I'm not going to take much of our time. For it's just a kind of a reminder on the ecosystem. And of course, we're taking on again. And as ambassador, will take the baton and give us the icing. And generally speaking, I want to congratulate everyone who, of course, have not run away from cryptocurrency, generally speaking, because it is easy for anyone to be talking about crypto when there's bull run. And when there's bear markets, you will now know who are the people in the crypto space. And I must confess, the truth of the matter is this: if you can stay put, then definitely you achieve the result eventually. But the truth of the matter is that we're still going to see a lot of terrible news, bad sponsored news in the crypto space over the years. But the good news is, again, if you are privileged to be part of an ecosystem that have a use case that is more of domesticated use case, then you are good to go. I will drive us a little bit in a road now, maybe in the next 20 minutes or so, about the Safir ecosystem. But before then, I'm going to take us on a high effect and for us to know why Safir ecosystem and some other new updated information or attraction, as it were. Now, you may want to pen down this area I want to take us through, and then you begin to look for those things inside the Safir and Zinc company. Now, there are 7 fundamental things we've been able to identify, from a research information about the cryptocurrency and the digital system, as it were. Now, you're going to have a counter with all of these things. Some are going to come out like conspiracy theory, and some are going to come out like, fake sponsor ads. Some are going to come out like, it's true, it's not going to be true. But when you are now in an ecosystem that you can find out, or you can find some of those content in the ecosystem where you belong, which is the Safir ecosystem, then you appreciate you're going forward in such ecosystem. So quickly, there are 7 areas that have been identified to be very strong in the crypto going forward. Are going to be very, very strong. Number one, I said, number one is the NFT, and I'm going to go back to the ecosystem. So it may surprise you, why will Safir have to go back to draft out more things around NFTs, right? Now, the aspect of NFTs is going to be explained more, and why you are, privileged to be in a place where you have a one-jump shop to leverage on so many things within the ecosystem. So there are 7 areas of the crypto project today that you should look out for, and you're privileged to be in Safir ecosystem. I know a good number of us have been in Safir since last year, and it points out you are now asking why Tupan, why all of those added information or added projects into it. is what will narrow down to these 7 areas and why the crypto movement and why ecosystem are striving to make sure that they're able to meet up with these 7 areas. But you need to know that some ecosystem only have 1, some only have 2, some perhaps will not even have any. So number 1 is NFT, which we're going to go to. Number two is central bank digital currency. Many of you have been going through information today, and even the Nigeria government have been struggling to create their own e-naira and more or less around the CBDC. Now, different country in India, and different countries in Europe now working towards creating CBDC, right? And now, what is the significance of CBDC NFTs in your Safir ecosystem so that when it's coming up, you will not need to be in a haste although, and then you not need to open your eye more wider to maximize some of those new ecosystem or new product opportunity that being brought into Safir Global, as it were. So number 3 is a blockchain as a service, okay? Then the metaverse. There are 2 different things about the NFTs and the metaverse, okay? Then the DeFi, and then the green blockchain. So some of you are asking why to pan, then you can draw out this green blockchain, and then we call Richardian contract. Now, most of you have had a high effect about the NFTs. Most of you have had a high effect about the metaverse, DeFi, but maybe you get strange about the green blockchain, Richardian contract, and the CBDC. Quickly, I'll just navigate through to the CBDC. CBDC have the potential for the most persuasive innovations in the fintech space that will impact all the stakeholders in the industry. So central bank digital currency, digital tokens like cryptocurrency. Now, see what's going to happen. The government of different countries are going to be working towards harmonizing the cryptocurrency and making people believe that their CBDC is working. But this is the first thing. Who are the blockchain service provider that will have ripple effect of this development the government want to create? Now listen to me. Most development that the government are creating, they don't want a situation where the whole thing is taken off from their hands. Understand it. Don't blame government for that, because whoever that is in charge of your money is in charge of your life. So government don't want to have a situation whereby the whole thing around the financial system is literally now totally out of their hands or out of the government control. So it's actually going to be cumbersome, and they are not going to relent on that. And they have struggled. Maybe many of you may not understand why, some of those capitalists first start working with Bitcoin and eventually jumped out of Bitcoin. Example, the JP Morgan, and many of you wouldn't understand the politics, why they have to jump out of Bitcoin. This is the point. They've discovered that it was difficult to take ownership or have a strong partnership because there's nobody called Bitcoin ecosystem or somebody in charge of Bitcoin. Bitcoin is just a network. And of course, that's a pure decentralized, cryptocurrency you can ever have. However, but the government have been looking for a project that will be, government friendly, society friendly, and they're able to have a kind of the adjuncts from the system. Because if they leave it to in the hands of the people, of course, they will not be able to have their own jumps out of it in terms of tax system and all of those things. Now, all the things they're creating, they first tried to create and make people believe, the people who do not know much about cryptocurrency, they made them believe that the CBDC is going to work based on database. But unfortunately, people begin to peruse how will it work. And that's why they are creating a kind of alliance with different companies to have a blockchain system. And why am I showing us all of these things? So that when I popped up some of those new infusion into the Safir ecosystem and the Zenith blockchain technology, you will now see reason why they were ahead of many people. And one of the first areas I still pick, and I still head on that in Safir ecosystem, is the area of tokenization. And you're going to see much about how and why is tokenization very important as much as possible. Now, the blockchain service, okay, so I'm going to go first straight. Okay, metaverse, no, that's not what I want to show you. Now, so this may interest you. what's green blockchain? One of the main setbacks for blockchain was the immense amount of energy used. So increasing the level of carbon emission to avoid that, blockchain developers will focus on introducing eco-friendly blockchain solution by using new approach like carbon offsetting, remedial measures for the removal of carbon dioxide emission. So now you're going to read much about this after this training. Of course, I know many of us are on Safir ecosystem, but not much person have actually sat down to look at the new infusion of those products as why will Safir going towards this. So this 7-point agenda, so Richardian contract. Richardian contract was initially introduced in 1995. So don't get it confused. Many of those things that are coming out today in the blockchain system or the cryptocurrency was not today. It has been. The only difference is this, it was not launched up. One of my friends was making a kind of experiment sometime. He said the first thing that came, right, what that came was a big land that replaced the usual land we used to know. Get this to your mind, that the first thing that came was a very big land that came in replacement of the physical land we used to have. And he said that land was very big and it came and people were like looking at what's this land going to be used for? It was a strange land. And that land was the land of internet, okay? Now, when the land of internet came, people began to look at what do we do with this internet? It's for nothing. It's good for nothing. Of course, early 90s, no one sees anything good about internet. He said, now, what may happen now is that we're now having something that allow you to now start building houses on that land. So everyone now start creating something on that land, which is the blockchain that enable me and you to create things on the land that was vacant before. You agree with me? People began to build different things. Developers start coming with new initiative. So this 7-point agenda, Richardian contract, okay? Richardian contract, the green blockchain, right? The DeFi, I'm not going to go over that. The metaverse, the blockchain as a service, the central bank digital currencies, CBDC, and the NFTs are the major thing that made your Safir platform that you have been, and many of us start seeing new update, a new infusion, and all of that, to start thinking towards the future, because they know that no matter how you claim to be anything, a lot of things are going to be happening. So very quickly, I'll go back to Safir and the new updated information. Now, everything I'm going to be telling you there is a friendly advice, okay? And as a friendly advice, I will give it to very friendly. That's the truth. Now, we don't coerce people, to take advantage of opportunity, but I always say something that it is better to lose by loss than to lose by miss. A time will come and say, how I know and how I wish I did more massively from the beginning, I would have been more better. And somebody was giving me a review about, I don't log in, to check how many coins do I have on Zinicoin, for instance. Now, this is the point. And somebody was telling me that he make a review and discover that those people who were early bird into Zinc minting, for instance, that upon the halving that has happened in Zinc, that those accounts are still minting more. I don't know how true that is, but I didn't get the fact, but that was what the person told me. And he said he quickly recalled that it's always good to take the first move. Now, the message I'm sending to many of us now, a lot of new products have been added. What should be your mind? The first thing is that, am I going to be the part of the first move? Okay, I was not part of the first move on the Zinc minting hub. So can I be the first mover in Tupan, a first mover on other new products that have been added? I'm just saying this so that you understand a time will come that you say, oh, if I had known, I would have started early. If I had known, I would have increased my portfolio because I never knew it was going to go in this fashion. Every time you're looking at Safir, think about this 7-point agenda, the DeFis, the metaverse, the CBDC, the blockchain services, the Richardian contract, and then the blockchain, green blockchain, and all of that. So why? So first of all, we've known that cryptocurrency have associated risk. Forget about this. I told friends sometime that the risk in the cryptocurrency industry is larger than the risk in the stock market. It's larger than the risk associated to other financial markets. But the truth is that why then are people get crazier about the cryptocurrency? Not only the risk, and it's still the lowest, the smallest industry or the financial market in the whole world. But as risky as it is, because right now it's still at the infant stage. So people understood the risk involved, that it's at the infant stage, so they need to get crazier to get the best out of it. So in Safir, I've told you there are risks associated. So it's not limited to Safir telling you, it's to remind you that generally speaking in the industry, it's more risky. Why? The risk of misunderstanding. People would misconcept a lot of things about cryptocurrency, while the whole concept around the cryptocurrency is still more of a kind of perception, and people find it difficult to believe. Remember, the land that was so vast and vacuum was created there, where blockchain and the cryptocurrencies begin to build different houses on top, came with very controversies, which is the internet. I'm sure many of us up to now, as I'm talking to you right now, if you tell anybody about the internet, I'm sure about 5-10 years ago, you cannot meet a friend and they ask you, what do you do? You say, I'm an internet marketer. I'm a digital marketer. Nothing like that 10 years ago, even 5 years ago. You will look at, if I didn't say, I am a liar, I work in the court, or I'm a banker, I work in the bank, I'm this. Those are the things that people get attracted to. Now, today, you meet persons, it's going to tell you, I'm a digital expert, I'm a crypto expert, I'm a blockchain expert. And number of friends are still looking at you and say, what are you talking about? There's nothing like that in any dictionary, that we have blockchain expert, we have cryptocurrency expert, we have digital marketers and digital marketers, professionals and all of that. Now, what I'm trying to tell us these days, misconception is one of the biggest issues around the risk associated with the cryptocurrency. And that's why many friends you are sharing Safir with do not understand, in quotes. Good number of people today, if you tell them about the internet, what they know about the internet, and it's only the bad side they know about the internet. And what's the bad side? They'll say, you mean you are internet? In fact, it's very easy for anyone to see you with a laptop and defer to you as a Yahoo boy. That's very simple. Why? That's the level of understanding and the heavy ignorance they have because of misconception. The same thing when you tell people about, in fact, somebody called to me about, was it last week or last 2 weeks, and said, oh, sorry, how are you doing now? I hope you're coping. I said, what happened? He said, I had the whole cryptocurrency market had crashed. I said, how do you mean? He said, the only exchange platform that is well known across the board is declared bankrupt, which is FTX. So are you really coping? I said, okay, since it's beyond your understanding, there's no point explaining to you, because trying to motivate an unmotivated person is a very big trouble. All right. So while I'm sharing all of this with us, you are in Safir and you've told your friend about it and he's not listening. And he's still telling you, I've not seen anything all this time you've been telling me. He's going to be missing out of a lot of things. But what I will beg you is this: no matter how hard it is, you should not miss out of what is in your hand as much as possible. Okay. Now let's go very quickly. One thing I've seen and I've observed in Safir said, we are not just going to be only on blockchain tech. Now listen, why? They saw that the government of different countries, if you go to parliament of different countries, it has been the debate of this. Look at what the two major debates of different countries are this. Look at it. Green blockchain. They have been talking, complaining about the environmental impact of the mining of Bitcoin and all of that. And that's where they come up and say, we want to have this. These are two fundamental things that government of different countries, both the serious one and the serious one, have been driving around these two things. And Safir, being very smart guys, told you that we wouldn't wait until the government do this. So we are going to be talking about energy tech, which is called innovative products that make life easier. Check our constant growing hardware portfolios and benefit from all solutions and all of that. Then head base. Now the whole ecosystem. So the blockchain base, of course, I've categorized into, we are used to the aspect of the Zinc minting and all of those minting tokens as well. Now, but Safir told us, and I remember telling us many years last year, and I said, Safir as an ecosystem is more than just a product, all right? If you have an ecosystem, it creates a kind of expansion bay to always move, align with the trend. Now, if you remain static, that means you are not flexible and you are not actually dynamic. So the dynamism is this. What has remained constant is the fact that Safir is an ecosystem. And as an ecosystem, checking what the government of different countries have been debating on many, many times, it's like, then if government were frowning at cryptocurrency and start debating on, health-related stuff or green revolution stuff and all of that, that means the government is going to come up and we adopt ecosystem that is eco-friendly and have product that can serve our purpose and get alignment. So for that, the smart thing they could do is to make sure that systems that have those solutions can be absorbed to their ecosystem. So I'm sure I've been able to answer a lot of people, because in our mind, we've been asking, why Tupan? Why this new system added to Zinc? Why all of this thing? Why not only Zinc coin alone and all of that? Now, it's to tell you that Safir is an ecosystem that collaborates with so many other platforms and related uptrend projects that can keep them up to date and continue for their users to be relevant as much as possible. Now, I'm not going to dwell too much about this, but one of the biggest things I've always been waiting for, because one of the largest market systems you're going to have in the blockchain system is tokenization. And I must repeat this. Tokenization is beyond even the blockchain itself. Just like the blockchain, the cryptocurrency had come to build different type of houses on the internet. Talked about the metaverse and all of that. So the internet just provides vast land that was a vacuum. Nobody appreciated it and no one sees so much around it. And now people began to see the importance of the internet, as it were. So tokenization is one of the biggest things that you're going to have around this ecosystem. Well, I don't care how long it's going to take, but for me, that's a kind of heartbeat system or heartbeat product within Safir ecosystem. And that was one of the first warning I gave to a lot of friends and close associates, that please do not waste your Zinc. Now, do not waste your Zinc does not mean do not sell. If you sell, are you going to redeem it back so that you won't have a regret? That a lot sell and it didn't redeem it back, you're having a guilty conscience, because if Zinc token is not going to tell you when it should start jumping up, and it could continue to have a kind of organic growth eventually because of all these associated use cases. Let me tell us something. Safir Global and Zinc Technology were not very stupid to have always everything they introduce have to bet on Zinc. Everything, go and check. Everything being brought into the ecosystem are betched on Zinc. That's a signal to tell you, oh, you are already on a very big diamond, and so you don't just waste it as much as possible. So it's an ecosystem, like I've said, and the new thing that has been introduced, that is Zinc Swap. I was experimenting. Now it's already connected to your MetaMask, which you can connect and then do swap of Tupan to Zinc and all of that. Over time, this is what Zinc want to do. We call it what? Cross-chain. Now, on their smart chain, you can have cross-chain to different cryptocurrency and different blockchain, whereby you'll be able to swap, and that's what I said, compatible with all the major, smart chain, 1,000 times higher capacity than Ethereum, okay? So you're going to have a lot of those opportunity, especially those of us who are maybe love, decentralized system. Of course, the Zinc as a hub have a lot of things. Most of you have been in the system. If you are new tonight, of course, after the training, of course, this is training or seminar that you probably would not get everything in detail, but just to give you an executive summary of what you are, what you're bound to get from the ecosystem. Okay, now very quickly, I'm going to go smartly now. I wouldn't want to dwell in one place. And now there are two sides to Safir ecosystem. First side is the product available for investors, for tech-related guys. And then they didn't tell me this, okay? I will always advise people, if you're in Safir, sharpen your level of exposure to learn, because Safir and Zinc are going to come up with educational-based system that people will learn. Now, let me tell you, as an expo, the educational-based learning, what they give to you is that you learn beyond just your business. And those of you who want to still going to get employment, you can have what we call recommendation from Safir ecosystem of your knowledge base for companies who will be searching for possibly, maybe front desk, blockchain analyst, front desk, cryptocurrencies, Web3 system, and all of that. These are part of the educational package they are packaging now. And then howbeit, you're already in the system and it's just to meet you there. And so when you see some of those things, don't play with it, because it has an offsuit capacity for you to make more money. So first base of Safir is the product service made available for their users to take advantage of investment opportunity in minting all of those tokens, and then the NFTs based, those one within the music. I remember I was in Abuja and I was telling somebody about the copyrights in the music and then the movie industry. And Safir now came up with, was that this? Let me just quickly look at if I could have this, just sorry for that. Okay, now I have to come up with this regardless and CD. There are crazy things that many of us are not seeing anyway. So, but I just hope we can help I to get more. And, this is load of things that I cannot finish in 1 hour, not 2 hours, not 3 hours. So I'm trying as much as possible to beat time and not beat about the bush for you. And now, so understand that you are in a multi-trillion, multi-trillion industry, all right, an ecosystem that you will sit down in your base and they will be bringing a lot of things to you. This is my favorite things about Zinc Sapphire, the tokenization. And look at it. It said multi-trillion market. Why? It said tokenization, project finance, good savings potentials for companies, multi-billion, global, and 100% transparent. So where you connect different eco-friendly and what I call domesticated system or possibilities. One of the difficult things about blockchain and cryptocurrency today is that people speak big English around it, and you confuse a lot of people. Now, when you are talking about tokenization, you're talking about, hey, you know what? Even your pepper farm, we can help you to tokenize it. In fact, somebody was discussing with me, a friend of mine, who was telling me about the stock, how to have the physical product, and at the same time, being able to bid in the stock exchange market, and of course, taking advantage of other markets, the way they buy and take off. No, you will have bidding in your warehouse and be making a lot of money while the products just physically inspected because of tokenization. Now, a good lot of things are potentially available, but it depends on how ready you are to learn more and to pay more attention to update. But a lot of updates has happened. Not much persons actually pay attention to them. So talking about real estate and different thing about tokenization, talk of anything can be tokenized. All right. So, okay, talking about comparison. Now, I don't need to go too much with comparison of Zinc and BTC. Number one was I've told you about, yes, Bitcoin is the first and the most decentralized, but the point is that the government will not be able to have partnership with Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is still going to be exit and entry. Very, very correct. All right. But eventually, when we're going to talk about expansion-based utility, you're going to have new technology. And that's like when Bill Gates says something, they say, well, Bitcoin is very good, but may not remain the best or the top outstanding cryptocurrency in the future. He said, but I wouldn't know which one it would be. People say maybe Ethereum, maybe this. Who knows? Why? Because the beautiful one are not yet born. So all you have is to take advantage of the opportunity that lie in your hands. I've talked a little about Tupan, and I think I wouldn't know the percentage now. Maybe after now, Ambassador can put some more, lie to it and about the Tupan minting, but I'm just telling you about the utility of the Tupan, which is correlated to what we have identified here as part of the 7-point agenda, which we call, your friend asks you, what is this Tupan? Tell him to come and read about green blockchain. Green blockchain. If he asks you, this Tupan you're talking about in Zinc now, what's it all about? Tell him to Google green blockchain. And when he reads, he's able to come back to Tupan to now understand, get part of Saving on Earth. So you can read more about the Tupan, what's going to be used for, and all the concerns of government about the mining, and then the impact of all of those things on the environmental issues are what Tupan actually, many of us have bought the Tupan immediately when it comes, and I'm sure it's still very, very profitable for a lot of people to get as much as package they can get. Fantastically, what happened is Safir did not make it difficult for people to have said, unless you have $20,000 before you can participate in it. I'm sure you can do as low as $100, but I always tell people, are you an investor or, who are you? So if you tell me you're an investor, you're telling me how much is the minimum package. I just tell you you're not an investor. But an investor is always greedy to get the biggest package as much as possible in their system. Okay, let me move very quickly because of time. And I just hope I can just navigate through. Okay, I'm not going to go too much detail here. So the first part, I've told you about the product service available by Safir to serve every investor and participant in the ecosystem, and at the same time, to get the second part of it, to build a career system. And one of the good things about the Safir have done is that if you're building career system with Safir, you still have benefit of this new product. So you're not limited to one product, and when somebody and now pick a product that you are now cut off from it. That's one of very thoughtful of them to not say, oh, new investors are coming in when they buy Tupan, you have no benefit. You do have. And then, of course, there are narration to it. Maybe after now, I think there's a breakdown analysis about what is the percentage of when somebody activates a package of these and how much go to your marketing structure for you to earn more money, building the ecosystem, as it were. So the second part of Safir is actually the career building strategy, which has to do with sharing opportunity with people. I've been telling people, I say, hey, if you are too pompous to talk and make money, you'll be too humble to talk and beg for money. That's just that. And one of the biggest economy in the world today is not industrial economy. Get that. The biggest economy today in the world is not industrial economy. The biggest economy in the world today is the connected economy. And in the connected economy, you do not need to have product. You do not need to have a manufacturing company. You do not need to even be a CEO, but you will make insane money. Let me do comparative analysis. I was checking the Forbes the other day, and I saw in 2017, we have somebody called Aliko Dangote, the richest man in Africa, according to analysis. And we have a young man called Mark Zuckerberg. And we saw that as of 2017, the other man, the richest man in Africa, was 67 years, and he worth $12.6 billion, right, as his net worth. And then that was industrial economy, okay? And then we saw Mark Zuckerberg, as at that time, he was 32 years, and he worth $56 billion, right? And then we're like, what the hell? What's happening and why? It's a connected economy beyond the industrial economy. So when you tell friends about recommending for business and make money and they say, I cannot do, I say, then you miss it. You do not understand the biggest industry we have in the world today. So in summary, you can make insane money. But before I go for that, Safir didn't stop. Come on, that's crazy. When I check the architecture and the kind of design they were building to go and take office at Float 147 at Burj Khalifa in Dubai, that was crazy, guys. and the office is in progress. I think, according to them, plan to be opening this December. I don't know, maybe it's still going to work. Maybe Ambassador will tell us more after, I must have navigate through. Now, it's to tell you that we are expanding our brand continually, over time. So I'm not going to be surprised if in 2024 and Safir decide to have some office in the metaverse. I'm not going to be surprised, okay? And then you ask you what it's going to be used for. Of course, they can list it out. I hope you know concerts are being conducted in the metaverse right now. So it depends on what you see and be able to position yourself ahead of time. So the recommended market, you can make insane money. It has not changed. First, you have opportunity to earn from level 1 to 15 deep on unilevel system by recommendation. I just share with people and then they love it. You know why? Why would they love it? That is the trending thing. That's what's happening. Why? Because that's the industry we are into right now. And so everyone want to make money. And everyone want to make money from good value that is trending. So it's not about having what can make money, but is it what is trending to make more money for you without too much stress, as it were. So you can make money by recommending to people first level 1 to 15 without struggle. I've told friends, I wouldn't market anybody, but I will keep sharing. So difference between person who market, you may exhaust your energy so fast. But if you are the one that share, you will be so passionate. Because when you share with Mr. A, it's not saying it, oh, fantastic, God bless you. You move to the next man. But if you want to market, you want to motivate an unmotivated person. Yeah, all are marketing strategies though, but you want to share. And when you have a target of sharing, you want to share to 1 million people within a day. So you devise all means to make sure you share. But if you want to engage in marketing, you probably may not have all the infrastructure and you get yourself bored most time because your friend talked to you badly. Listen to me, everyone. Don't do your business with apology and do your business without owing anyone apology and be intentional about it. That one thing I've discovered is that if you want to do your business with apology, you go nowhere because no one pays your bill. You pay your bill and then you owe no one apology. So you do your business without apology. And that's why you share your business without boundary. You don't look at anyone. You share with them. And when I share with you, you don't see it. Oh, how a nice day. Because he that start with you may not end with you. And he that will go far with you definitely may not stress you. So don't look at maybe this is the biggest guy. No. If it's not seeing what you're seeing, move on to the next person who's going to see that. And of course, they will fall into pleasant places eventually when they see it working because result actually terminate insult. So you can make a lot of money from level 1 to level 15, in different dimensions of just sharing with 1 or 2, 3 persons, and then they continue to share. But I always tell people, you want to start Safir very strong, I think you can start aggressively to maybe first your front line to maybe to have up to 10 people and carried on with those people before you expand your tentacle, all right? Then next is actually the career commission. And now I think there's some, updated fashion, which I'm going to leave that to Ambassador, and time is fast spent though, on the career ranking commission. Now, the career ranking commission ran from Ruby, to as high as what they call global gold diamond. It's crazy where you can make up to $2.5 million. Now, no one is telling you you can do this in 1 year. But how about targeting to work with this company for the next 5 years, targeting to hit this round? Is it possible? Why not? If the company is creating this kind of office, so are you not telling me that the company is planning to go off tomorrow? No. So after this office, definitely, mark my word, definitely very soon, you will hear Safir have created an office in Metaverse because this design is even Metaverse already. And maybe that was why they have to take office in the tallest building so that they will be thinking of Metaverse at all time. So what you do to yourself is to tell yourself, okay, can I work with this company for the next 5 years? Put in all what it takes and see where I can be financially in the next 5 years. Then finally, you have the global pool income. All right, take note of this. This has requirement for you to make money. on these. And of course, you have to review, in your biographies, or probably get back to, your leader who share with you, or ambassador will going to do a lot of justice. So ladies and gentlemen, what I have for us tonight is this. Work with the 7-point agenda of the blockchain system with research and begin to pick it out from your Safir ecosystem. So Safir didn't come with this new product. I'm sure they too have reviewed the 7-point agenda of the government, of the capitalists, and then begin to work to get what? Safir try to be sexy to the government. Thank you very much.
Wow. That was detailed and sharp and sharp. Thanks so much. I want to believe everyone on the platform tonight, they are not actually surprised of what Medayese Felix can bring to the table. And that's why we call him the Oracle of cryptocurrency. And so for many who are trying to understand Tupan, I think the message is clearer for them now with the Queen blockchain that you just introduced to us tonight. So you can see that we are not just building things, just in the air. We're actually relating, building things that are related, can actually resonate with us, all the things we're doing. So once again, great man, thanks so much. We'll have to end this recording now, then we can give room for question and answer.